What is up, everybody, and welcome to FLW Videos. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about 5 unexpected Pokemon that will dominate with a Mega Evolution in Pokemon Go. In this video, I'm going to talk about what a Mega Evolution is, how I believe it will be implemented into Pokemon Go, and then cover the list. But first, what do I mean by unexpected Pokemon? There's basically going to be 2 main categories today. One is a Pokemon that gains a completely new typing and becomes the highest ranked Pokemon in that category because of the typing shift, when it otherwise would not have been number 1 from that new typing. The second case is when a Pokemon jumps to the number 1 spot in the same typing simply by outdoing other Pokemon through the Mega Evolution. We will not be including Pokemon that are already number 1 from the same typing. An example would be Tyranitar for Rock type. It is already the best, so having a Mega Evolution with the same type, we kind of expect it to still dominate. Rayquaza is another perfect example for Dragon types. But anyways, I'm very excited to get into the video, so let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing that I want to do is explain what a Mega Evolution is. It actually started in Generation 6, but just know, just because it started in Generation 6 doesn't mean we will not see it in Pokemon Go sooner. A perfect example of that would be the fact that we saw Alolan forms from Generation 7 before Generation 4 was even introduced. A Mega Evolution consists of certain Pokemon gaining an ultimate form of themselves. The Pokemon needs a special Mega Stone in order to evolve into its final form. Also, Pokemon can only gain their ultimate form by using a Mega Stone unique to their species. For example, to evolve a Blaziken into Mega Blaziken, Blaziken must be holding the Mega Stone Blazikenite. Mega Evolution does more than just change a Pokemon's appearance. It also changes the Pokemon's type, abilities, and stats. Unfortunately, abilities won't matter as much in Pokemon Go since they haven't been introduced. But typing and stats are definitely going to be a very important topic to talk about. A good example is Ampharos, which after Mega Evolving becomes an electric dragon type Pokemon. But some Pokemon like Aggron actually loses a type after Mega Evolving, going from a Steel Rock down to a pure Steel type Pokemon. Mega Evolutions is only possible during a battle or contest. After the battle or contest ends, the Pokemon will revert into its normal form. You are limited to having only 1 Mega Evolution in a battle. Each individual Mega Stone can be used an infinite number of times, but only once per battle. So now that you have a better understanding of what a Mega Evolution is, I wanted to talk briefly about how I think it will be implemented into Pokemon Go. So there are 2 main theories that people have adopted in Pokemon Go. The first one is that it will honor the original game and be a temporary boost during the battle. Perhaps we can earn individual Mega Stones from drops, raids, etc., or maybe just a general Mega Stone that acts much like a rare candy does in Pokemon Go. The second theory relates to Mega Stones being permanent. This is what I would personally like to see. You have to have a general Mega Stone, but to prevent Megas from being completely too common, maybe only allow a Mega Evolution once the Pokemon is completely maxed out. This provides an incentive for players to get to the max level and provides a much needed benefit for reaching such an incredible milestone. This is my own take on the situation, but having Megas in the game is something that I really look forward to seeing. But anyways, I think it's time to go ahead and get into the list. In at the number 5 spot, we have Mega Sceptile with a max AP of 3,748. Mega Sceptile is now a dual type Pokemon of Grass and Dragon type. So something very interesting about Sceptile is 2 different factors. For one, it does pick up the Dragon typing, which is definitely interesting. But for the most part in Pokemon Go, Dragon type is completely crowded, and Mega Sceptile isn't going to have much room to be able to excel there. On the other hand, you have the Grass typing. Currently, as it stands, Mega Sceptile is not considered to be the number 1 Grass type Pokemon. So the fact that its Mega Evolution propels it to the number 1 spot is definitely fascinating. And for the most part, The only competition that it is going to have is actually going to be Mega Venusaur. As you will see, there is roughly a 300 CP difference. Even though Mega Venusaur is very good right now, I do think with Mega Sceptile getting the actual Mega Evolution is going to push the stats apart enough that even if it doesn't have some type of ideal moveset like what Venusaur has, I still think it's going to dominate. Also, just remember, by the time this comes out, Mega Sceptile could most likely have that Community Day move that would put it ahead of Venusaur anyways. But I guess for now, it is an unexpected Pokemon. Let's go ahead and get into the number 4 spot. And I can promise you this is going to be a completely unexpected Pokemon. And that is Mega Ampharos with a max CP of 4006. Mega Ampharos is a dual type of Electric and Dragon type. This may come to no surprise considering for Community Day, Ampharos was able to learn the move Dragon Pulse. And of course that will get the stab bonus once it evolves via the Mega Evolution, getting that Dragon typing. But we're actually not here to talk about Mega Ampharos from a Dragon type. Instead, we're here to talk about Electric. Believe it or not, there are not a lot of Pokemon that received a Mega Evolution from the Electric typing. The only other Pokemon that did get one was Manectric. But keep in mind, Manectric honestly wasn't that great of a Pokemon, and even with a Mega Evolution, it could probably still get outpaced by something like Raikou or Zapdos. But keep in mind, although Raikou and Zapdos dominate now, with Mega Ampharos, I think Mega Ampharos could actually outdo them. Assuming it doesn't get literally the worst moveset available, I do think its stats will actually push it into the number 1 spot, which is a completely unexpected Pokemon. Let's go ahead and get into the number 3 spot. And I want to go ahead and apologize for the T-pose, but let's go ahead and hit it. We've got Mega Heracross with a max CP of 4495. There is no change to the typing. So you might be asking, well, how does this come out of nowhere? Well, technically, the way that it stands right now in Pokemon Go is that Heracross gets outperformed by Scizor and by Pinsir, mostly because of the moveset that it was given. But then people also kind of argued that it could be fairly good from a fighting type, but unfortunately later on this list we do have a Pokemon that can outdo Heracross from a fighting type. So we're going to be looking at it from a bug type. In reality, the only competition that Heracross is going to have from a Mega perspective is going to be Mega Pinsir and Mega Scizor. So Mega Pinsir picks up a new typing adding on Flying, which is going to be fairly interesting, and then Mega Scizor actually keeps the exact same typing. But as you will see from the CP, there's going to be a little bit more of a separation than what currently exists in Pokemon Go. So I think with that, because it is going to have such a difference between the stats, it is very possible that Mega Heracross is going to finally be able to take that number 1 spot from a bug type perspective. Let's go ahead and move into the number 2 spot. And this one might be considered a little bit of a cheat because it isn't exactly a Mega Pokemon. Instead, it's going to be a Primal form. And that is Primal Groudon, max CP of 5493. Primal Groudon is a dual type of ground and fire. So the reason why I put Primal Groudon on this list is because it picks up the new typing of fire. I think Groudon is limited in a lot of ways in Pokemon Go just because the ground type movesets are unfortunately not that great. But with Primal Groudon picking up the fire typing, it is very possible that it could get out from under the shadow and actually shine from a fire typing. But when we talk about the competition, the biggest competition is probably going to be Mega Charizard Y. As you will see, there is no change to the typing. There is also a Mega Charizard X, but it's not going to be as much of a threat. So if you take a look at the CP, although Mega Charizard Y is fairly impressive to be able to crack past that 4000 CP, as we have seen with Groudon in the past, it's a Pokemon that you do not want to mess with. But technically it will be unexpected because most people don't think about it from a fire typing. So let's go ahead and move into the number 1 spot. This is a Pokemon that you would not be surprised would dominate, but it is technically going to be unexpected because it does have a change to the typing. And that is Mega Mewtwo X with a max EP of 6,186. Mega Mewtwo X is now a dual type of Psychic and Fighting. So the reason why I put this version of Mega Mewtwo on the screen versus its Y counterpart is because of picking up the Fighting type. Although Mewtwo does have Focus Blast, it still gets outperformed by Pokemon like Machamp. But once the Mega Mewtwo X comes into play, the fact that it will pick up the Fighting type and get a massive boost in its stats means that it is absolutely going to dominate from that Fighting type. But let's go ahead and take a little bit of a look at some competition. So the other competition is going to be Mega Heracross, which we covered earlier, and Mega Blaziken. Now, although this is going to be fairly solid competition, it kind of falls in comparison to Mega Mewtwo X. It dominates that much. So obviously we can expect Niantic to completely nerf it, hopefully not make it completely useful. But anyways, I hope you did enjoy this episode. I hope that you had a lot of fun with it. So I want to go ahead and end with a question of the day. Which Mega Evolution Pokemon would you be most excited about seeing in Pokemon Go? Go ahead and let me know in the comments section below, and I will see you next time.
Hit me like a tidal wave, triggered by the aftershock.